Testing.
I can hear you, Phil. I and
Okay.
see you.
Thank you.
Morning again, Gina.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Scott, did you receive the email from Kelly?
Yes, I did. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, sir, but as soon as this is over, I'm gonna take a look at it.
It's gonna be an exciting trip.
Yes, it does. Jam-packed with all kinds of activities.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Been talking for about 30 seconds on mute. Did not realize. We will call our meeting to order. This is our Georgetown Scott County Revenue Commission meeting, our business meeting, Wednesday, July 23rd. And we will call this meeting to order and call the roll. See that Gina Amos is present. Gina, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Serving as proxy for Superintendent Billy Parker, and then I see Mayor Jenkins. Mayor, how are you this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
So with that said, let the record reflect their attendance and my attendance. Joe Pat Covington, County Judge Executive. And we can conduct business. We have a quorum and can move forward. With that said, approval of minutes from last meeting is our first topic, and that is from 6/25/25. Those minutes were shared by email. Are there any questions or comments related to those minutes as presented?
I make a motion to approve the minutes such as written.
I'll second that.
Motion, we have a second. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We have those officially approved. And we will turn to Phil for general counsel updates.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yes.
You may recall at our last meeting, we discussed a potential extension or renewal of our lease on the premises here. On July the 1st, the board of the water company met, and after their meeting, they decided that before we go further down the line in terms of an extension or renewal of the lease, they wanted to obtain an appraisal to know the fair market value of our premises here. Hopefully that won't take too long, but it's possible that we won't have the results of that before our next August meeting. But certainly we'll keep you updated on that as we obtain information. You might also recall that we discussed at the last meeting a potential exchange of information agreement with Georgetown Scott County Tourism, which would enable both of us, both they and the Revenue Commission, to keep better tabs on short-term rentals here in the county. Ms. Saunders at the Tourism Commission informed me that their board is meeting today, presumably to approve the agreement that I sent over there. So again, I'm hopeful that that we'll know next month by the time we meet whether that's gone through. It looks like it's heading in that direction. And again, that'll better enable both parties to keep tab on short-term rentals here in the county. We also met on July the 8th with Jack Connor of Georgetown Scott County Chamber and Scott County United, which is sort of part of our regular meetings with him to keep tabs on new business here in the county. and to discuss exchanging information about new business that might better serve both parties. Our meetings with Mr. Connor are always beneficial and entertaining, and we always like chatting with him. Most likely the format that we're going to use to exchange any information with Mr. Connor is going to be such that it appears at this point we won't need a formal agreement to do that, but we're still reviewing that issue. Scott, anything about those items that you want to add to?
No, I think you've summarized it very well, unless the commissioners have any questions.
No,
Questions from myself, Gina, Mayor Jenkins?
No questions?
no questions here.
Thank you.
That will lead us down to on the KCGC and work with 13 layers and MSP conversion.
All right. Good morning, everybody. As great as it was to be able to get together in person, I am very happy to be back on virtual meetings again. With the switch over to Spectrum, it seems like that has stabilized a lot of the issues we were having, and now it's more like I'm just kind of playing whack-a-mole when it comes to taking care of various bugs we're seeing with and just communicating with Chris over at Madison County and then James with 13 layers, trying to get minor things fixed here and there, but everything seems to be coming together nicely. I believe moving forward, some of the future things we're looking at is setting up remote work policies and making sure we have equipment in place and ready to go for that. But other than that, I think we're in good shape now. Knock on wood.
Yeah, and
Any
Judge, I did want to
questions?
say,
Yeah.
Judge, I did want to say thank you to you for, stepping in and getting Blake involved. I think things sped up at some point after that happened, and things, it went for a while when we weren't hearing anything, and then all of a sudden everything happened very, very quickly, and we appreciate your help with that.
I don't know.
Yes, that was very nice. It was very odd though. Spectrum would just show up and start doing work, and when asked about it, they're like, yeah, for a communications company, they're not that very good at communicating.
Maybe we need to share that with them and let them know that a little bit more information in timeline would be appreciated. But I don't know how much credit I can take. I did try just to swing the bat to try to get them to move along, and hopefully that helped. But definitely that connection has to make a difference for all the services there at the Revenue Commission. So.
Absolutely.
Any questions, Mayor, Gina?
No,
No questions?
All right, we'll move to number 6, Scott.
Okay, so we have 4 penalty and interest abatement requests here. One is an approval and 3 are denials. So we'll take them one at a time here. The first one, this particular taxpayer is requesting abatement of a large amount, $5,407.85 in late filing and late payment penalties and interest for net profit tax years 2020 through 2023. This particular taxpayer's written narrative states that the reason for the delinquency is that they have had 4 surgeries in the past 4 years, and that's made keeping up with their tax filings very difficult. The taxpayer has paid all delinquent tax liability, which was, as you can see there, in excess of $15,000. So per Revenue Commission policy, this does establish reasonable cause for abatement, and staff recommendation is to approve this request and abatement in the amount of $5,407. Actually, that's a typo there at the bottom. I fixed it at the top, but not at the bottom. It's 85 cents, not 87 cents. And it's our recommendation that we do this whenever someone's hitting a rough spot. This is why we have penalty and interest abatement. It's always good to help them out when we can.
Questions or comments related to that, and with the staff recommendation for approval, would there be a motion to
so moved.
so a motion to approve
I'll
as
second that.
second? Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, taxpayer B, this is a denial request for we're requesting that this one be denied. They're requesting $50 in late filing penalties for net profit tax year 2023. The taxpayer's written narrative states that the return was mailed prior to April 15th, 2024. While that may be true, unfortunately, the taxpayer was unable to provide any proof of that mailing. So per our policy, this does not establish reasonable cause for abatement, and our recommendation is to deny this request in the amount of $50. As always, with the denial, the taxpayer will be informed that they are welcome to submit additional relevant information in the future, and the Revenue Commission will be happy to reconsider this decision.
Questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve the recommendation of the commission to deny this request.
I'll second that.
Comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on down to the next one.
All right, this is taxpayer C. This is an interesting one. This taxpayer is requesting abatement of $250 in late filing penalties for net profit tax years 2019 to 2023. The taxpayer checked the box on the form indicating Revenue Commission advice or error, yet their written narrative makes no mention of Revenue Commission advice or error. Instead, the taxpayer's written narrative states that they were not made aware of the responsibility to pay this tax by their accountant. The taxpayer further states that their first rental property purchased in 2017 is in Frankfort and that they had no such responsibility there. Just a note, the city of Frankfort does indeed have occupational license tax, but they were under the impression that was not the case. Per our policy, this does not establish reasonable cause for abatement, and staff recommendation is to deny this request in the amount of $250. As always, taxpayer will be informed that in these scenarios, they may seek recourse from their accountant. Unfortunately, it's a non-delegable duty. We cannot abate that, but they actually need to seek recourse from their accountant. And then, of course, as always, they have the opportunity to send additional relevant information, and we'll reconsider the decision. I think it should also be noted that this taxpayer was advised that they do actually qualify for our one-time courtesy waiver for tax year 2019, but they declined to take advantage of that relief.
I make a motion to approve the recommendation to deny this request.
I'll second that.
Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, and the final one, taxpayer D here, this is somewhat similar to the one we just denied. They're requesting $50 in late filing penalties for net profit tax year 2024. In their written narrative, the taxpayer states that their CPA neglected to submit their net profit tax return and payment, and the taxpayer provided documentation from the CPA where they did indeed acknowledge that they made the error. As above, per our policy, this does not establish reasonable cause, and our recommendation is to not deny this. Again, the taxpayer will be informed that in these scenarios, they may seek recourse from their accountant, which should be pretty easy since they've already admitted that the accountant made the error. And as always with a denial, will be informed that we will be happy to entertain additional relevant information and reconsider the decision in the future should they decide to pursue that.
Questions or comments for Scott on this one? Would there be a motion?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Just to clarify, that's to approve the recommendation of denial from staff. So we have motion, we have a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I think that's the last one, and that will lead us to number 7, general discussion. Scott.
Okay, so for this month, there are no projects for the Cabinet of Economic Development for Scott County for June of 2025. Second bullet point there, we have restarted payments on the KJRA financial inducements with this particular employer. Their new fiscal year started in April, and the April payment was made in June. just a reminder here, we mentioned this last month. Phil and John and I were the featured speakers at the Kentucky Government Financial Officers Association monthly meeting on July 10th. That went very well. It was hosted by Owensboro, but it was a virtual meeting. I attached the PowerPoint to last week's email. Feel free to take a look at that, look at all the slides that we presented. But that went over very well and was very much appreciated by the KGFOA team. Since I did attach the presentation, were there any questions or comments on what we presented?
Appreciate having an opportunity to review that 100%. Yes, sir.
Looks good.
Good, thank you.
All right, thank you. The next item is the individual compliance efforts for the month of June. So you can see here we had team collections totaling in excess of $38,000. Phil was busy at it again with $16,000. 100% of that was net profit. Tammy also had over $8,500, and more than half of that was net profit as well. Michelle Disney, our newest tax compliance analyst, came in really strong with over $20,000. Over half of that was payroll withholding. And Denny, one of our other tax compliance analysts, had almost $8,000 in additional delinquent taxpayer account collections, and 88% of that was payroll. So a solid effort by everybody here for the month of June.
Good, thank you.
Okay, the electronic payment summary. This is what June looked like. We had about $37,000 that was paid online via our portal. You can see about 45% of that was net profit and 54% was withholding, and we did have $125 in regulatory fees. You can see the majority, again, 88% continues to be the e-checks. That's the most popular one, but we did have $4,400 in credit and debit card payments as well. And since that's the final month of the fiscal year, we'll take a look at the roll up for the fiscal year. Over $1.1 million was paid with folks using the electronic payments online. And you can see the vast majority of that was on the web. Only about $4,300 of it was right here in the office. So people like paying electronically, and they continue to use this service.
Good.
All right, so here are the monthly collections for June. We were up very slightly, $900, as you can see there. The city was up 41,000, about 2.3%. The county was up 45,000, 2.2%. And the school board was down $86,000, which is very unusual. And of course, if you look at that closely, the 41,000 and the 45,000 for the city and county add up to 86,000. So I thought, well, that's kind of strange. So I had John look into it. And John, you want to share your findings there? There was a reason for that.
Yes, in 2023, there was an account that made a large net profit payment that had misallocated that. Whenever we receive a payment, whenever they provide a statement with the allocation on that, that's how we apply it. Once the net profit was actually completed, it created quite a large credit for the school that had to be reallocated to the city and county in 2024.
That makes sense, Gina.
Mm-hmm.
I know Superintendent Parker always takes a close look at those things as he should. So yeah, we thought it was kind of strange and wanted to have some answers for that.
Thank you.
Any questions on the monthly numbers for June?
Questions?
None?
Okay, then we will go to the final quarterly stats for the fiscal year. It was quite a roller coaster ride, as we can see, some due to some large net profit payments and a net profit amendment due to an IRS audit for one of our local businesses. months where we were up big, months when we were down big, and overall, had an increase of $11.9 million over what we collected last year. That, if you look here at this cell I have highlighted here, $75.6 million is what we collected. That is the all-time record in the history of the Revenue Commission. It is the first time that we've exceeded $70 million in collections, and it is another $10 million increase over the prior year. So overall, it was a very, very large increase for the city. 4.8 million more was collected in this fiscal year than the year before. 4.7 million was what was actually distributed to the city, in excess of what we distributed last year. For the county, it's 5.1 million more was collected, and slightly over 5 million was distributed, in excess of what we distributed last year. And for the school board, we collected $1.8 million more than we did this time last year, and we distributed 1.9 million. Big year, big numbers, some big net profit deposits and amendments that we didn't normally have. Were it not for those, it would have been a down year, $3.2 million. Part of that is due to this weak April here. We talked about that in prior meetings. Due to the federal disaster declaration extension of the filing requirements and the confusion related with those pronouncements, it's probably likely we're going to see higher than normal collections for October and November, which is going to take those collections out of this fiscal year and put them into the next fiscal year, 2026, due to the timing of that, because a lot of people filed extensions or they haven't filed anything yet. And it's because due to the federal disaster deadline, they have until November 3rd. So a lot to unpack there. Any questions?
Looking at the way the collections, totaled out, having the potential of those filings coming later will only be I think, a plus to this next fiscal year. So
it will, Judge. And also, if you saw my email from last week, we have started off this new fiscal year, July 2025, in a similar fashion. We've had another net profit estimated payment of in excess of $7 million that we've received and deposited this month already. So we're kind of starting the same pattern over for next fiscal year. It'll be anxious to see between that and the additional tax filings that probably should have been filed in April, May, of June of this year, being filed later in November. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. It looks like the next fiscal year, 2026, is going to be a little volatile as well.
you have to try to forecast it and watch it closely. And,
Yes.
but I appreciate, I always know that we can get the story behind the data and the insight about, why we have ups and why we have downs, and appreciate how you all do your business and do it in a professional manner. I appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions on the quarterly stats?
Questions for me?
Not for me.
Okay, then we will move on with the rest of the general discussion. A few points here. We had 66 new businesses opened and 29 accounts were closed. That compares very closely with the prior June, 61 and 25. Up here you can see we're currently sitting at 622 new accounts and 230 closed, as compared to 650 and 378 at this same time last year. So we're really narrowing the gap here. We're down to about 28 below where we were this time last year, and we're way below where we were, 158 as a matter of fact, or 148, I'm sorry, on the number of accounts closed. So right now we're averaging for the first 6 months of this year 104 new accounts and we're averaging 38 closed accounts every month. If that continues, it's going to be another year with well over 1,000 new business accounts opened here at the Revenue Commission for the calendar year 2025. The last page here, I've updated all these numbers with the June numbers, and you can see here we're at 10,756 open active accounts here at the Revenue Commission. Any questions on any of that additional data?
No.
Appreciate it.
Questions?
All right. Well, John, Phil, anything else I'm leaving out here?
No, sir.
I think we've covered everything today. Next meeting, the next regularly scheduled meeting, the 4th Wednesday, would be August the 27th, 10 a.m.
Appreciate that, and I hope everybody has a great day. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion,
I'll second that.
all those in favor? Please say
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned, and appreciate the meeting, and glad we're up and running with that new connection. So if y'all
Yes.
need anything, let us know. Thank you.
Will do. Thank you. We appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.